So, on to my two young guests, which I'm looking forward to having a chat with. And first up is our Olympic torchbearer from Scottish Borders, Callum Airlie. Good. Now, Calum is actually on that screen there. You can see him, he's just at the far left corner there. Just see the top of his head. All nicely dressed in that outfit, but with a fantastic torch. But for me, if anyone we saw the opening ceremony, Calum wasn't just any Olympic torchbearer. Tell us what you were doing.
Well, obviously I actually lit the Olympic Cauldron. I mean, I can't really put that very lightly. I can't really say it's some little thing. It was absolutely huge and an incredible honour. It was just, there I am.
And how did all this come about, Calum? How did it happen for you? How did you, as you say, it was an honour, how did you get into that? How did it happen for you?
Well, it was actually really spontaneous. I mean, I go to the gym twice a week for my sport, so I came home after quite a long, heavy gym session, and my dad was just sat in the hallway, just kind of shaking slightly, quivering. I just feel the excitement of him, and he started to tell me about this interesting phone call that he'd had, and he started off just talking about it, and he was like, "Oh, it's from Shirley Robertson." And the Shirley Robertson? Are you sure? Because I mean, it's not often we have an Olympic double gold medalist just calling us up on Dad's mobile. Yeah. So my ears pricked up and I started to pay attention. And Shirley just started to describe this incredible opportunity. I mean, she couldn't say much. It was all very hush-hush in her words. So she could only tell me that I had this opportunity to do something in the opening ceremony. She couldn't tell me anything about what it was. But I really didn't want to miss it. Yeah. So of course, at that time I was meant to be out in Austria doing a week's training before the World Championships, like the time that she wanted me to go down to London. And at first Dad very, very nearly said, "Ooh, terribly sorry, you can't actually do that."
So how did it, when were you allowed to actually tell people? When did you find out the moment that was to be your job?
On the 19th. I mean, we went down, we had this nice long car journey and got down there, and Danny Boyle just kind of walked into the room with 7 of us after we'd done our kind of awkward, "Hi, what's your name? What sport do you do?" And I mean, they're all fantastic people, and we not really gotten to know each other at all. We literally just said hello. And of course, Danny Boyle walks in and drops this bombshell on us. And it honestly was a bombshell. It was stunned silence afterwards. And that was, what, so 9 days before.
It's a big responsibility. I mean, how did the 7 of you feel? Did you the chance to kind of feel that excitement with each other, that now you knew this is what you were going to be doing, you were going to be lighting that cauldron?
Well, we had the week before the opening ceremony for rehearsals, and also we had quite a few days off. Yeah. So me and Jordan Duckett, one of the other 7, we were all staying in the Corinthia Hotel, a fantastic hotel, by the way.
You're not supposed to say that.
And we spent the week sightseeing and just spending time with each other. I mean, quite a few of the others, they were away training, or actually Katie Kirk, one of the others, she had a competition that she was doing in between. So they were all kind of back and forth for the rehearsals. But we just kind of spent time together, gelled with each other, and genuinely made lifelong friends.
I mean, it was a great moment. I mean, some people may have been at the opening ceremony. I was watching on TV, but it was a surprise. It was a surprise moment, and I think a brilliant moment, because there was all the chat about young people and legacy and handing that baton over. And with that moment, when Sir Steve Redgrave handed over the torch, I think it was a real signal that this was something different. What have your friends been saying about that? How did they react to you having done this? A lot of jealousy, I think.
Well, they're all trying to be very cool about it. I mean, some of them keep on dropping in the fact that my life is sorted now. Whereas quite a few of them are just trying to treat me like normal, which I am very thankful for, actually. Yeah. But they're all incredibly, incredibly jealous, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, quite a few of them hate me at the moment.
Yeah.
Purely because I had probably 67% attendance on one term, just because I was away competing so much, and obviously I had my wee Olympic adventure.
And in terms of Olympic medalists, you mentioned Shelley Robertson, who had a hand in nominating you for this. Who else did you meet? Who was around the place? So Steve Redgrave, obviously, but who else did you meet?
I met quite a few of the kind of previous medalists, actually. After we'd come back from lighting the Cauldron, they had all previous medalists who weren't competing in London 2012. And we just got to mingle with them and kind of hear their stories. And for me, that was absolutely incredible. It was incredibly inspiring just to be around all these people who have had such commitment, put in so much hard work, and got the rewards to show for it. So that was fantastic.
Well, the other side of what Callum does is he's a very good sailor. So we're going to hear a little bit about that now. Just back from France, I think just off Bordeaux. I'm learning all those things. So tell us a bit about what your last few days have been, apart from being able to skip school, which was brilliant.
Well, I sail the 420, which is a double-hander boat for those of you who don't sail. And
most of us.
I sail it with a lad from London, actually. Started off with my brother. However, of course, he's 2 years older than me, so he went off to university, and he's kind of been doing university sailing and just trying to get through his course. So stopped sailing with him, started sailing with this English lad, and I get on really well. It's fantastic. However, obviously, it's not the easiest of things, him being down there and me being up here. But just last week, we were in Bordeaux. We had kind of 4 days training and then 4 days racing. It was part of the tailored support squad group. I'm not entirely sure how they phrase it.
The squad will do.
But that's like top 2 boy boats and top 2 girl boats go out and we get this extra training, and it was absolutely spectacular. I mean, aside from the week off school, which was such a relief. We had all sorts of wind. We had rain like twice as much as we've had in Scotland. It was fantastic, and then other days it was glorious sunshine. Can't complain. And thankfully we finished off the event with a 3rd overall.
Yeah, brilliant.
So podium in
good job.
International event.
So in terms of your ambitions in sailing, tell us a little bit about your ambitions and tell us about your commitment to the sport and what that actually means for you as a young person growing up.
Well, if we've got Scottish training, which is basically all the way through the winter, we've probably got 1 or 2 weekends a month. That's all on the west coast of Scotland, so Largs, Millport area. Don't know if any of you know that, but...
Oh, we know it well.
So that's 2 hours in the car on a Friday night, staying over, and then going training, 6 hours both days, fitness in the mornings, and just generally a full-on weekend. And we'll do that all the way through the winter. However, we've also got the kind of GBR training, which is all down south, and that's an awful lot of air miles or road miles, thanks Dad. So that's kind of what we do all the way through the winter, and then sailing season starts, and we've got World Championships in summer, Europeans, Nationals, just basically a month of solid sailing all the way through the summer holidays.
And the ultimate aim in terms of your ambition? Olympics.
All the way. I mean, that was kind of always my ultimate goal from being a very young sailor. However, of course, lighting the Olympic Cauldron, that kind of fixated it in my head. That is my ultimate goal. That's where I want to be, and I'd love to be in another Olympic stadium in that opening ceremony just as a competitor instead of lighting the Cauldron.
And do you think Rio's doable, or is that maybe a bit early for you?
Rio might be a bit too soon. I'd love to. However, I've got this year, like the end of this year and next year in the 420, and then I can move into the 470, which is the Olympic class. However, of course, I need to try and think about university around that. And
Yep.
we don't really make a huge amount of money in sailing, so I needed my backup plan. So hopefully I'm going for medicine, and I've got my applications in. Fingers crossed that I get something, and I'm thinking kind of go through uni, keep in touch with sailing, keep fit, keep in touch with it, and when I come out, probably 25, go for it, go for gold.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough balance, obviously, university career, trying to get in medicine. I mean, that's as tough as, along with just what you've described there around the commitment for sailing. But you sound like you're up for it.
Absolutely, I love a challenge. I honestly do. I mean, I've kind of always gone through making life difficult for myself, and it's just kind of paid off so far. So, fingers crossed I can pull it out of the bag one more time.
Yeah, well, I think everybody here is inspired by your story, and we wish you all the best going forward. We think certainly the sport of sailing is in good hands with people like you. Thanks, Callum.